There's definitely a lot of responsibility that comes with being a nurse. I think it's really rewarding to me to feel responsible in this way because I have someone's life in my hands, and I really value that. But it is very, definitely kind of takes a toll on you emotionally. It is really hard for me to step away, and I kind of just still feel involved with the patient even though I'm not even there.
I put it on so he could eat because I want it on whenever he
Yeah, they just put the order in. I think it was last night or this morning, so I've been working on getting it.
The unit I work on is Done for West, and we're a post-transplant unit. Transplant is super interesting, especially because we do multi-organ transplants. So we do, the kidney, the pancreas, the lung, liver, and heart. And every system is so complex. And I've just learned so much about each organ this way.
No, amen.
We work with a lot of the different doctors, a lot of different teams. There's just so many groups that we work with, and all these transplant organ teams are great. They're a wealth of knowledge again. I truly feel like it's part of a big old transplant family.
SpO2 was 86%. They also want to do an echo that wasn't completed.
I forget that you got little trippy little veins.
I know,
Yes, you are. Miss Green is definitely a very special patient. She did have a very long stay after her lung transplant last year. So we all got to know her as a staff. Her 1-year anniversary for her lung transplant was during this past submission. And she is really special because she's actually coming up on her 1-year anniversary for her bilateral lung transplant.
Yes.
So I wanted it to be super special. I wasn't going to be there for the day of it, but the day before, I would always bring it up and remind her that, hey, it's coming up. Your anniversary is coming up, because it is so exciting to make it to that 1-year mark. So she takes it in stride. She tries to stay really positive, but I know it's hard to stay positive when you're cooped up in a hospital room.
The pulmonary function test. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, when you're in clinic, which you haven't had, so we just check for both types of rejection.
Any of these discharge will move closer.
That'd be good. Yeah, I knew what you meant. She does not have a CRD. Done for West nurses have really become, a second family to me. I learned so much from them. I saw the way they helped each other all the time, and were so willing to teach each other, banter with each other, be there emotionally supportive. There's also just a wealth of knowledge of some of these nurses who have a lot more experience. And I can always ask them questions. And it's also great to see these new nurses come in also, where I can answer their questions. And we all have something to learn from each other with everyone's different experiences.
I'm trying to get a new idea.
We work a lot with PT. We have mobility techs on our floor, which is also really great because these patients need to walk after their surgeries. Kidney transplant patients get up the next day, which is pretty cool because they just went through a huge surgery and then they're up walking. All right. All right, Mr. Williams. I have the patient, Mr. Williams, who I'm also familiar with from when he got his liver transplant sometime last year. And he is back because he had some nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain. I feel like nausea is one of those things, it's really hard to take care of patients with nausea. The patients just seem so miserable, because I know that doesn't help anyone when they're nauseous. And I'll go get you some Zofran. But he's going through a lot, and so just trying to take care of him and get him what he needs. This afternoon, I just need to make sure my patients, they go to all their scheduled procedures. So kind of have to act like their secretary and kind of plan things, and just responding to their needs and making sure that they all feel safe and not sitting around in any pain.
She's on room air.
On telly, normal sinus. Good CPAP at night, but she doesn't really tolerate it. So I have the patient, Miss Washington. She is a bilateral lung transplant from this admission. So she is actually getting ready to go home soon, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. And she has just gone through so much this submission. She's been here for almost 40 days. Ever since she's been here, you know, we've seen such a big change, and she's gotten so much stronger. There was a time where she had like chest tubes coming out of her, and now today, you know, she doesn't have any chest tubes. She's walking around by herself, and she's just so excited to go home. And you can really tell, like, they are so antsy. Her and her daughter are itching to leave. Are y'all ready? Okay. All right, guys. Okay.
I'm sure she's stressed.
Oh yeah, she is. Hello. Hey. All right. I know. Did you expect that? No. I know. They were like, "Did you ruin the celebration?" I was like, "I don't think she knows what's coming." All right. So we want to congratulate you, Miss Washington.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Every one of y'all.
Yes. Congratulations on your new lungs. It's been a crazy journey for you. You've been in the hospital for like 40 days.
Yes.
Such a long time. And I know you've been ready to go home for days now.
Yes.
So we wanted to... Celebration on the unit is when we present this little frame with a patient's name, the day they got their transplant, and this little cute little poem called Another Chance.
Congratulations.
It's something that we do when the patient's being discharged off of our unit, and we just congratulate them, and it's really, really sweet. It's really warm. It's something that I feel like 99% of the patients love so much.
We'll be in clinic.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We're in it to win it. We're on the winning team.
Congratulations. With patients who have been there for a really long time, especially if they've been on my floor for a very long time, I definitely am a little sad to see them go, because I've gotten to build that relationship with them. And it's, you know, it's the nurse-patient relationship, which is pretty unique, because you want them to go home, you want them to get stronger, you want them to leave, but at the same time, like, they become like someone who's part of your family. So I do feel a little sad sometimes to see a patient go. It's definitely a weird, odd feeling. It's like watching a child grow up, kind of, in a really faster pace sense. And then saying goodbye to that, kind of mama bird, letting it go, and just letting them be free. But it's a very rewarding feeling, and I do love those patients.